a banner that read, "Stop Funding Climate Death." The Extinction Rebellion activists then opened up a fire hose and sprayed fake blood, which they had made from beet juice, onto the building. But they immediately lost control of the hose and ended up drenching the sidewalks and at least one bystander. 11 days after the Sky News interview, Lennon appeared on This Morning, one of Britain's most popular morning TV news shows. By then, nearly 2,000 Extinction Rebellion activists had been arrested. A few hours earlier, violence had erupted on the platform of a tube station after Extinction Rebellion activists climbed on the roof of a train, forcing the conductor to hold the train in the station and evacuate the passengers. "Why the tube?" asked one of the irritated hosts of This Morning. "Why the cleanest way to travel across the capital? The tube is powered by electricity, which in Britain emits less than half the carbon now than it did in 2000. In the video, we see two Extinction Rebellion protesters climb on top of one of the train cars and unfurl a banner with white letters against a black background that read "Business as usual equals death." "One of the points of this particular action," said Lennon, "is to identify the fragility of the systems that we're currently working with. The fragility of our transport systems." "But we all know that on a daily basis," interrupted the host. "If there's a power cut, we know it's fragile. We know that. You don't need to prove that to us. What you've done is stop ordinary people going to work. Some of them are workers whose families will depend on an hourly rate by the money they make." Video from the tube protest showed hundreds of angry people on the platform who had emptied out of the train cars, yelling at the Extinction Rebellion activists who stood defiantly on top of the train. The commuters shouted at the two young men to get down. "I'm just trying to get to work," one of the commuters said. "I'm just trying to feed my family." Things quickly descended into chaos. Some in the crowd threw cups of coffee and something made of glass, perhaps a bottle, which shattered. A woman started crying. People tried to find shelter from the chaos. "It was quite scary, and there were some people who were quite frightened," recounted a reporter who was at the scene. A This Morning host said that 95% of people surveyed now said Extinction Rebellion was a hindrance to its cause. What was Extinction Rebellion thinking? In the video of the tube protest, we see a commuter try to climb on top of the roof of the train to grab the Extinction Rebellion activist. The Extinction Rebellion activist responds by kicking the man in the face and chest. The man then grabs the Extinction Rebellion protester's legs and pulls him onto the ground. We see an angry mob of commuters start kicking him. Back in the studio, Lennon emphasized that the video showed the kind of disruption climate change would bring. "And not just transport," she said. "It's also power, and it's also food. It's going to be empty supermarkets. It's going to be power systems turned off, and it's going to be the transport system disrupted." Angry commuters at the tube station descended into violence. In another video of the incident, we see a man knocking a man filming video of Extinction Rebellion action onto the floor and kicking him. Later, outside the tube station, a man in a red jacket was punching the face of a woman, a man told the TV reporter, who was calling on him to stop his violence. Toward the end of This Morning, the co-hosts did something odd. They appeared to agree with Extinction Rebellion's Sarah Lunnan about climate change. "We are all hugely concerned and want to support you," said one of them. "Without question, there is an enormous crisis," said the other. "Wait, what?" I couldn't understand what they were saying. If the television hosts agreed that climate change was an enormous crisis, one in which billions of people are going to die, how could they possibly be upset about commuters being late for work? The Sky News host responded similarly. "I'm not trying to say that it's not deeply concerning," said the host, "the environment. But his very specific pain about not seeing his father, he might not think that's comparable. But how could the disappointment of a single man..."